Hello everyone, welcome to Highly Intelligent. I'm your host, Shablambo, aka G-Rad Martini, the man. And I'll let my guests introduce themselves today.
B-Rad. Woo!
It's Grover, you know what's up.
Yeah. So today we got a pretty interesting episode. It's chock full of conspiracy theories, interesting topics that we could explore. And I think we're going to kick it off by talking about the pyramids. And I believe this was Grover's suggestion, so I'll pass it off to you.
Alright, look.
What you think?
So, my theory here is that the pyramids are an energy harvesting device that was put here by aliens. Alright. And now the point of this is so that they can collect enough energy to transfer something from one spot to another. What that is, I have not come up with a theory for yet. But for now, I'm left with the pyramids are slowly drawing in energy so that they can transport something from one spot to the other.
What's drawing the energy?
Yes, that's
I've
what
watched
I'm
some
wondering.
videos and stuff, like, its own weight has this own...
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to explain it. There's a chamber in the inside
Yep.
with water, and just how the moon's gravity pulls it. It generates power or whatever.
It
just by the weight
literally
of it.
generates power, yeah.
But when it's prime, it had like a golden pyramid on the top, and it had some like different purpose stuff. It couldn't have been just a shrine.
That's what I was thinking.
Like-
I was thinking maybe all the gold inside was meant to generate like gamma rays of some sort.
Now you went into some deep stuff with some like alien. I mean, people simplify stuff by saying aliens
Well,
because we can't really justify what the hell an alien is. It's just something that we don't.
well,
from the
I
outside,
think we
like,
had
coming here.
extraterrestrial help on it because the pyramids have like 150 blocks in each pyramid that it's made out of, and each one of those blocks weighs 1,500 tons.
You know how much slave power they really had.
It doesn't matter though. You'd have to have like 500 plus Arnold
They
Schwarzenegger
had
sized
technique.
people.
You can have one person. Go on YouTube right now. You can find this one person moving the same sized block that is in the pyramids. One dude doing it, just slowly, each little technique. I don't know exactly how he was doing it. Moving like a stick or just using its own weight. He literally like flips them in different ways. He does all sorts of things.
Could you pick them up and stack them though?
No, but you need a technique to move them to their places.
That's what I'm saying. How do you move them and pick them up to stack them at the same time?
Maybe they didn't stack them. They built it
It was
layer
like
by
this.
layer. So they
Picture
placed
it
them, built a
spiraling up
ramp.
the pyramid, so it's
That's
at
what
a-
I'm. That's
at a
that's my
smaller-
that's my next
You
point.
can get
If they
the
built a
copies of
ramp, pushing it up the ramp, even with that technique, it would just slide back down to 1,500 ton brick
Not if
going
you
down
have
a sliding
1,500
surface.
slaves on a rope pulling it.
See,
Yeah.
that's the whole point. They didn't have any sort of rope back then, anywhere near
Why would
strong
you
enough
say
to
that?
pick up those.
They had
rocks.
hemp.
I
Hemp
believe
makes
they
strong
did have
rope.
That's not even.
I believe they
had
had
a
rope, but
language or
nowhere
something.
near that strong. We didn't have rope strong enough
If
to
you
pull a
spider
ton,
wire,
let alone
if you spider
15.
wire, you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Spider wire your hair alone. Collect your hair and spider wire just enough. You really can make some strong shit.
Yeah.
He's mentioning hemp.
I
mean,
made
I'm sure
a
they did that
rope
stuff,
out of
but-
hand towels from Walmart the
Just
other
hair
day, dude,
alone.
and I couldn't even pull that bitch apart. I'm not comparing a rope from hand towels to a rope that pulls 3-ton blocks, but I'm saying I think they have some rope, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they had rope.
In
but
theory, though.
the axle system.
Yeah.
Not just the rope, but the axle system. Back then, the closest they could have had was some shit ass metal.
Look how
There's no
advanced
way
we are
it would-
today.
It would be able to withstand.
Picture in
withstand
theory
that.
all of our information now, all where we're at, our documents lost. Like, picture that same society existing when the pyramid happened. They were so civilized, or not
Yeah.
civilized, so high, like,
Highly advanced for the
yeah.
time.
And
Maybe they
just disappeared.
Got help from aliens, but like they developed far on their own using that small help
Why'd
they got.
stop passing information forward, though? Why'd they just disappear, you know?
Well, you might be right on that, but even then, I don't know. It's too fishy. They would have had to have used. The theory is they would have had to have used elephants, because
Yeah.
they had access to elephants if they really wanted them. So the theory is that they had access to elephants. They used an elephant with a rope of some sort to pull the block up somehow, whether it was on a pulley system or the elephant just had to seriously lug that bitch up there on its own. But then at the end of the day, how did they unsmooth the ramp and make it cube shaped again. That's impossible, literally.
Chisel it out.
It's impossible.
Why is it impossible?
Because if you made a ramp out of those cubes, even if you chiseled it out, those cubes would now be half the size from the top, from the middle.
So large in scale that if you took the very outside of as you're making it, it's such a small incline of climbing it up, and then when you're very done with it, have some people smooth it out like it doesn't have a ramp with some like grindstone power.
You just chisel it out, throw the rocks down.
There would be indents though in the cubes where the middle section was farther down towards the center of the cube than the outside corners,
the whole outside
where the cube
of the pyramid
went to each
What if they built
point.
the ramp on the inside, like a spiral up the pyramid, and then they built a wall on the outside of the ramp that went up the pyramid, so they were building on the inside, going up.
I'm pretty sure they used sandstone blocks to stack it, and then they had limestone smooth surface when it was all complete. And that limestone is all gone, and all you see is the sandstone blocks now. And that's what we see the pyramids now as. But I think that shit was super, super smooth, and not eroded, and really pretty.
Definitely.
I think they probably had some like wooden scaffolding that they somehow hoisted those blocks up.
Yeah.
I don't think they put stairs or a ramp or anything like that into the pyramid itself. I think they put the blocks in their place and never fucked them.
That's a dense rock. Think about it. The pyramid is all dense.
Seriously.
Like with one chamber running through it.
Seriously.
And it's heavy.
And there aren't just pyramids like in Jordan, Egypt, and shit like that. There are pyramids all over the world, from the North Pole to Antarctica to the middle of the Pacific Ocean, hundreds of miles under the water.
Aren't they like symmetric too?
Every single one.
The axis.
Mm-hmm.
Of,
and every one of them points to Orion's belt.
really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
You better buckle that shit up.
That's crazy.
Seriously.
Pants are falling.
Every single one points to Orion's belt. Some people theorize it's sending a message through the energy that it draws in, and it's feeding information to an alien species or an extraterrestrial species on a different planet.
Damn. So in
Which
conclusion,
would actually explain how we got those blocks up there.
we're thinking aliens built the pyramids, or else they had some serious technical feats that were not possible for the time. Is that what we discussed here?
And also,
Basically.
I want to put one more thing.
Yeah.
The pharaohs, they had past pyramids to build and show that, like, you know,
Yeah.
there's a smaller pyramid, then the next pharaoh up was like, mine is going to be bigger.
Yeah.
And it happened, and so it was huge ass pyramid. So it is an ego show off trophy thing as well, type of thing, too.
Yeah. So you want to talk about
That
the...
also kind of furthers my theory, though. Who taught the original pharaoh how to make the pyramid?
Yeah?
Because if that's the case, then back when Egypt first started and they first started those pyramids, they seriously weren't
But I don't
advanced
think
enough
the pharaoh
back
did.
then
The
to do
pharaoh
that
spits
shit.
ideas out at architect, and the architect starts micromanaging
Are
the
you
whole
sure
project.
that the pyramids are like made out of like bricks and shit?
Sandstone.
Though? What if they just like
Yeah.
undug everything? What if they just dug everything around the pyramids?
It's possible
it's
that
like the
they
pyramid
find
still goes on the
things,
ground.
I say things
very,
linked
very
out
deep.
into the pyramid, but I doubt it. I mean, each one of those bricks is sandstone, and they're like a cubic foot thick.
If anything, the
It
desert's
would take
gotten
hours to
taller
get through one
rather
of those
than
fuckers.
lower.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, even if we jacked them with our shit today, it would take 2-3 hours per cube, and there's like 250 cubes on
What
that
if they were
motherfucker.
like just say like a big mound of sand to begin with?
Like a
and they just-
sandcastle technique where they like put some sort
like,
of
say it was just a
water
big,
on it and
in
just
the
patted it
desert,
into
was
shape.
just a big
You can't,
drift.
though.
Yeah.
Sandstone is like rock solid, dude. There's
Yeah.
no way.
You know, like almost building.
Sandstone?
I mean, like
Doesn't it
almost like
sound
building
like
into
sand?
a
Like
mountainside.
you'd hit it and
Yeah.
it would
Like
fall
almost
apart?
like a
Right.
big like
something.
sand
Right.
drift. Like almost just building into that or off that.
Nah,
Yeah.
there would have had
Something,
to
I
have
mean,
been a pyramid-sized fucking rock of
Yeah.
sandstone laying underneath a sand dune, and they carved the pyramid out of it. That is the only way that theory.
But
Maybe
even
they
then,
were
you
really
can still
fucking-
get
they like
inside the
carving-
pyramid and move blocks and shit.
I was gonna say, and if that was the case, you couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
That right there, you couldn't have done it.
So, to move on, you want to talk about the Georgia Guidestones?
I don't know too much about it, but it was introduced to me.
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit.
just
So in Georgia, there's the Georgia Guidestones. Don't know what year that this was made.
yeah,
By pictures, it looks fairly new. I'm sure if you just Google it, it'll have so much more information than I'm spitting out.
yeah,
But it has all the major languages on each stone, facing each side, and it just pretty much just guides humanity. Like, I believe it mentions humanity under 500,000 population, guiding reproduction wisely, documenting information, spreading it properly, so we don't dumb down. There's just real stuff it talks about, but it talks about some dark stuff too, like dropping the population and
yeah,
like order through chaos. In other words,
yeah. That's kind of crazy.
you guys have never heard of it, huh? Like I
Yeah.
introduced this to you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's about 90 miles from Atlanta.
I definitely think overpopulation's a big issue. Like, our planet's maximum is 10 billion people before we no longer have enough land to farm enough food to
You know what?
support us all.
I believe that we could support a way larger population than we have, but the powerhouse humans, the big companies that are actually affecting our environment, they just did things differently, and like we did things sustainably. Like, you know what I'm saying? The biggest problems in the earth, like, we can't individually change because it's these big snowball getting bigger companies that they would lose out if they changed their ways. So they can't change. It's so big that you can't stop it. So you need governmental influence to tell them to stop. And the government's making out on it's a big old hamster wheel of never-ending bullshit till the planet dies. I have little faith that it'll resolve. I'm scared for our future. We need to like branch out into space or like go into AI.
We still have tons of gas
actually.
left.
That
Like,
makes me think
we'll
of the
die out
movie
here. We need to
Interstellar.
evolve.
Okay.
they're just getting rich off of us, off the fear of running out of gas, but we still have years and years before we run out.
And then we'll still never run out because of a greedy.
Yeah.
They'll have the worth of it will be so much it won't even get use. It'll be just stored away in barrels, being like this is worth this much.
Honestly, with how much gas we have, it's like Jared said, we actually don't have to worry about running out of gas for another like
Supply, demand.
1,000 years or some shit like that. But even then, by the time we are even projected to run out of gas.
We'll figure some shit
as
out.
long as the government lets them do it and inflation goes back down, like after the market crashes and shit, which in my opinion is going to. Elon Musk is gonna figure out a way to power electric cars that's cheap as fuck, and because all the prices and everything just went down, we're gonna start selling electric cars for even cheaper. And I think you'll see electric cars take over for gas, and you'll see gas not be used in cars anymore.
What?
Except for old ones.
What charges the cars? Electricity. How do you get the electricity? Most electricity on our infrastructure is from burning fossil fuel.
I
Isn't
see
that sad?
I see Elon
Like,
Musk
our
figuring out
infrastructure,
how
our whole
to take
infrastructure
the
needs to
body of
change.
the
A lot of your
car
Tesla
and have it
chargers
draw
run off
in
just
sunlight.
diesel power generators.
Yo, why
in
don't-
like a 10-mile radius? Like,
I think you'll see Elon Musk make it like a solar panel, like the car's body,
seriously,
like a
we are
solar panel, so
wasting
it
energy.
constantly
you
draws
can
in
only
energy.
do so much with solar though.
Why?
You could also
It
do
doesn't
so
matter
much
if you
with.
had if the entire body of your Tahoe was solar,
But think,
that would
you got-
easily power
You
your
got
Tahoe. would it not?
wind, water.
There's more.
Yeah,
other
tidal energy,
things
too.
Than just the sun, though. There's many things. Why don't we apply them all?
Yeah.
Instead of just using the one thing pulling out of the ground.
We aren't even using the ocean's energy right now. There's so much tidal energy.
Actually, dude.
Yeah, like if we just put like energy suckers off of the motion of the
For some
the
reason, I'm
waves.
scared
Bro.
of the ocean.
Bro, American,
Who is?
I'm telling you, it's because creatures live in the ocean and
We're
shit
fine
that we
with
don't
going
want to
out
fuck
into
with.
space, but what's wrong with going into the fucking ocean?
See, that's exactly
There's so
why
much
we're.
pressure.
That's exactly
Yeah.
why we want to
We
go to
can't get down
space.
there.
Is because we know there are things in the ocean that would
So
easily
apart.
destroy the human race.
You wanna-
And we're just not fucking with them.
You wanna elaborate on that? That was a little bit out of the way here. You wanna talk about that a little
What do
bit?
you mean?
Well, you're referring to some Middle Earth titans here. Is that what you're saying? You want
I
to talk
mean-
about that?
Sort of.
Yeah.
So, all right.
What's going
I'm
on?
gonna take just 1 second here to look up when it was created.
I like your shirt, bro. That's cool. It's a smoking caterpillar out of a hookah.
Yeah,
But
it's the one
very
from
detailed and
Alice in
cool.
Wonderland.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, are you saying that there's like gigantic beasts that live on this planet that humans are unaware of.
Creatures.
So
Where?
the first space agency, the first real one, was created in 1958. Okay.
Wasn't that during Kennedy?
Yes.
Yeah, Kennedy was in office.
That was our
I totally
that was our
might
space
be
race with Russia. So humans had slowly been making their way across the ocean and doing shit out in the ocean, but until the Cold War, we didn't actually develop military devices such as the submarine to allow us to go out into the ocean.
Yeah.
And we didn't have scuba gear that was anywhere near advanced enough to go as deep as we can now. Like those weird space scuba looking ass suits we used to use. Those things low-key sucked. Okay?
Yeah.
So
Like the SpongeBob
Yeah,
style one.
yeah.
It looks scary, bro.
yeah, bro.
One spin on your thing.
You
and you're putting
basically
in
just
water
drop, and you have to have air constantly thrown into your suit
by
from a tube.
Yeah, no.
And
that's
if
not
any
cool.
if anything goes wrong, bro, you die.
The tube gets a
you're
little
dead.
water in it.
Yeah,
breathe it
dude,
in.
dead. Like
You actually put a CO2 tank.
yeah,
instead of an
bro.
oxygen tank.
Like things could go seriously
Helium.
wrong.
You start to talk like this.
So because of
Underwater,
that, we were too
Yeah.
humans were too scared to actually explore the ocean beyond a certain point. So when we started making stuff like submarines, we started to explore farther into the ocean and learn more about the ocean. Well, something in the year of 1958
Made them
shit
pants.
themselves so bad that they went and created a space agency to get us the fuck off of Earth as fast as possible.
What made them?
You see, that's classified information. It
What
scared
about-
the government so much they wanted us to leave the
What
planet.
about competition with Russia? And they just it was a space race to see who could get into space first.
That was.
And then they
More than-
won.
more
They
than-
won. Russia got to space first.
Yes, more than
We got to the
likely.
moon first.
I think, in
And
my
then we took the victory by
my
that. But technically they
opinion,
won.
I don't
that
know, dude.
helped.
I
that
think
helped the process, but
I
Then we
think
stopped.
in
We got
my
to the moon and we
opinion,
stopped. We won the race.
more
and
than
we settled.
likely, it was like Americans and Russians were engaged in a battle, and they blew something up that woke something up that made them absolutely shit themselves when they seen. So both governments had seen it. So both governments knew that the other one was going to do the exact same
You
thing
don't-
they were thinking
You
about.
don't think that every human for as long as we've even been evolved have been looking up at the sky and just had a natural curiosity?
Oh, I'm sure, but
You think that
up
it took
until
something
then,
scaring us to actually
even though
go
we
out
were
into it?
creating shit like tanks and airplanes and shit, nobody had actually tried or even thought about trying to get off the planet. Everybody's
bro.
first instinct
It
was
really
to
takes
explore the
rocket
planet
fuel.
first.
It takes rocket fuel. It takes crazy agencies with tons of money.
Yeah, but we don't
putting
even
together
care anymore.
Organization.
We don't even care anymore.
What do you mean we don't care? We have Elon Musk is
Elon
making
Musk,
shuttles.
yeah, but Elon
to
Musk
go-
could give less of a damn about how much the fuel costs. He's just trying to get us out there.
He's making transportation cheaper and reliable because it's a monopoly right now. Because we can't go to space because NASA owns it, and it costs them so much because they can't reuse their rocket ships. Now freaking, he just went into the game like crazy and made it. But this costs you $1 billion each time, you idiots. Let's just make it reusable, and then spend like $300K each time you refill. Or
See,
maybe not
exactly,
that
though.
exactly.
That's
but
that's
he
exactly
changed
my
the
point.
concept of how we use it, basically. Like, I don't know.
That's exactly my point.
He's-
His
he's
entire
tweaking
focus
it.
and everything he does is to get everybody off as fast
He
as
wants
possible.
to go to Mars. So fucking bad. That's. I think that's just like a really goal that he'll put himself in history for. Like,
Seriously.
I don't think there's something pushing him off of Earth. We scared. We gotta get the fuck out of here. But at the same time, though, even Albert Einstein said that we need to become a multi-planetary colony. Because
He
what
did.
if an asteroid hits Earth? We're done. Humans are done. If we're multi-colonized, like across the galaxy, then there's
Sure.
a huge chance of humans actually making it because we're multi-planetary. Like,
Yeah.
it just makes sense,
Yeah.
you know?
Which also starts problems, because if there is an extraterrestrial life form out there who's as advanced of us
Well,
as
the
more,
golden
we're
record,
eventually
bro.
going to
Have
run
you ever
into
heard
each
of that?
other.
You ever heard of the golden record?
Yeah.
Like, before we like thought about the scary stuff that might be in space, we were trying to like find stuff, and we sent this
It's true.
golden record out. And
Yep,
it has
the
everything
golden
on
record.
human recording, and it's got a song that plays.
I'll say it's with a.
It's actually a good song.
It's with one of the
But
models of the cars
we
from Back
sent
to the Future.
all that out, and something might pick that up and know everything about us, our weaknesses, our everything, and come back and our resources. What's valuable about us? We have it written down. Come check it out. Come
Facts.
take it. We're weak. This is how we're weak. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, we're
Or all of our
150 years
signals,
more
our radio
advanced than that
signals,
by
everything
now.
we're just
But
launching into space all the time. We're like Our
Yeah, we
planet's
really do,
going
too.
Crazy.
We
awful
really do,
signals.
too.
And
We
it
send
don't
crazy
bounce off
signals into
anything.
space.
It flies into space till it hits whatever it hits.
Yep. It
Without
flies and hopefully
no
something picks it
drag
up.
slowing it down.
Nothing.
Space is trippy.
It's gone.
So
Somewhere, some crazy far distance, which they probably aren't evolved to travel through time, otherwise they'd be here by now.
Right.
So
Yeah,
if we're talking about space, you want to talk about the flat Earth because you said you had some interesting theories that you wanted to talk about, and I'm curious because I'm not a flat earther, and
I'm not a flat
I'd like to
earther.
be convinced.
Well, listen here. The thing
I'm
isn't.
totally open to it because
the-
changed my mind.
The thing.
I actually tried.
The thing isn't that we live on a flat Earth, because I can prove right now that we don't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand on the Eiffel Tower and look out north and see Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
So because of that, the Earth obviously can't be flat, because if it was, you
Not
would see
fully
Lady
flat.
Liberty.
Not fully flat, but
from
is it a
flat.
globe though? Like, is it exactly?
But I
globe?
don't know if it's
It
exactly
might not be
globe
perfectly flat.
shaped
We have hills and
either.
stuff.
I don't know if it's exactly
So
globe
do
shaped.
you not know if
either.
we're like 2D?
Trust me,
or-
I've been on.
No, we're definitely
in the mountains.
3D,
I've
or we
seen
wouldn't be able to perceive
I've seen the
2D
curvature of
because
the
we would
Earth.
be
But
perceiving
there's
ourselves.
more than just like.
So we're 3D, but we can't perceive 4D. That shit would be interestingly
Yeah, that
crazy.
shit is trippy. I've watched like some
Yeah.
YouTube videos on that, and that's like.
I know
If a
one
4D
I know
creature-
one
Can't do
person
it.
who's come close to 4D, and the orb showed him everything.
Oh, so he's gone. He's crazy. In other words.
He's right here in
Perhaps.
this. He's right here in this tent, Brad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, is it you?
Oh yeah, perhaps.
You.
Perhaps.
So
What about like
definitely
time change?
I can't
though,
grip
and
fourth
like
dimension.
the weather. and
Humans
stuff.
can't. That's the
Like
thing.
south
3D.
and
Humans
north.
can't. We're not able.
4D, you have to like
Like-
put your mind in like a
Wouldn't
like,
that have to do
like
with?
our senses
Yep.
don't allow it to
Nope.
pick up out of what it is.
Nope.
Unless you like.
We're physically not capable. The only way
Unless
we
we
can
evolve the
perceive a
receptors, which ain't
4D
gonna happen.
anything is with the help of a 4-dimensional being.
or
Otherwise,
a
humans will
device.
never be able
A
to
The
do
device.
it.
fact that like
Even
all
then, more
expanding-
than likely,
I can prove it to
theoretically,
you, a
humans
device
won't
can
be
do
able
it.
to make a device
Your
like that
brain
without
can't
help
pick
of a
up radio
4th-dimensional
signal.
being.
We
But
wouldn't
we make
even be able to
devices that can.
communicate with a fourth dimensional being because they would just
Yeah,
phase
but
into
bro,
our reality.
They can
We
communicate
make
with
devices.
us.
Well,
More than likely, if a fourth dimensional being can see us, we can't understand them, but theoretically, they should be smart enough to eventually make something to talk to us.
Like what? Flick a light bulb?
Like a
That's-
device that would make
Have
their
you ever heard of-
voices
have-
able to be heard on a
have you ever
3D
heard
frequency.
Of the electromagnetic spectrum. It's like everything there like is and we
Absolutely.
see and everything like
Absolutely.
it's hard to grip.
yeah.
With, like
Humans
It's every
dying.
senses,
Humans
everything
dying
you sense is on
actually
the
is a great
electromagnetic-
argument for that spectrum on how it actually exists.
how so?
If you weigh a human being, and then you shoot them in the head or give them lethal injection or something, so they can pass away like almost immediately. When they pass away, the scale that's tucked up to your body to see how much you weigh will immediately drop 7 pounds because you just died.
And your brain's leaving the back of your head. Is
They
it?
No,
they
it's 'cause you poop yourself.
no. It's not either one. If you see, that's why I
No,
said
you shit
lethal.
yourself.
That's why I said lethal injection because they put you to sleep. Your body doesn't know it's
It's
dying,
like
so you
the
don't
air
shoot
You
pressure.
die,
yourself.
you shit yourself.
It's like air
Not if
pressure.
you go when
When
you're
you
sleeping.
die,
Not when you go if
shit
you're sleeping.
yourself.
If you go when you're sleeping, you don't shit yourself because your brain doesn't register.
Everything just if there's anything
That's why there's
in
no.
there, it
That's why
comes
there's
out.
no 1 minute
If there's
flashback of your whole life.
anything in there, it comes out.
That's not even the point. The point is, when you die, your soul leaves your body. Your soul weighs 7.82 infinite pounds.
When does your soul, like as soon as a baby is born, takes its first breath, does it have a soul? Right?
My guess is the
But it's
soul
not
enters the body
conscious.
when it
It's not
breathes.
conscious. I don't remember the exact moment in my little childhood where I was like, looked at my hands, I was like, whoa, I'm alive, I'm breathing, my name's Brad, this is real, everything's real, I'm on a rock floating through space. I don't
Would
remember that exact
Jesse's
moment.
soul weigh
but
more
like,
your
than
brain,
you, though?
your
What
brain
the hell?
wires
Because his
itself
soul's
not to.
bigger?
Your brain wires itself not to.
It's because it was so gradual.
What about physically?
right,
No,
it was
the
gradual.
brain
It's
is a
physically
miraculous
bigger.
thing that we humans as a species don't 110% understand.
Hey.
We actually only about 15% understand our brain. So we actually have no idea why it does some of the things that it does. But one of the things that it's proven to do is actually rewire itself whenever it feels the need. And they found out that your brain starts doing that the moment you gain consciousness.
So our brains actually wire us to not remember the first time that we realized we were sentient conscious beings.
I
You'll
feel
never
like
have
it
a
was.
memory of that because you can't. It's impossible. Your brain is not letting you. That's why when you get like Stockholm syndrome, you can actually repress memories and shit and not even know that shit
There's
happened.
no certain moment that took. I just went through so many life events that slowly made. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I
Like
remember
the life
being
events
3,
I went through
and I
made
remember
me.
being conscious then. Like, I obviously was making my decisions and stuff, but
I feel like-
I wasn't aware I was alive because I wasn't aware of the other side being dead. But I was aware of you could die. Like, it's a really
Yeah.
trippy concept. Do you remember before you were born?
No, I
No,
don't.
weird.
But there are
Do you remember
millions of
being born?
accounts of people even remembering their past lives and how if those events sync up and turn out to be true, because sometimes they do. How the fuck were you even able to know
See,
that?
those situations should be investigated 1,000,000% because that's some supernatural and real life evidence. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's what I'm
I wanna
saying.
hear
His
more
soul
about
left
that.
his body and somehow found its way into another person.
See, I want to hear like way more research into that.
See, that right
Not
there
bullets,
would prove
not
the
more
evidence
stuff.
of reincarnation, and if that's the case, then we have to look at the serious boundaries of what is life. Because if reincarnation is possible, how are we adding people to the planet every year?
It's because
Shouldn't we just
Everything-
be infinitely recycling
The
people?
same amount.
everything
Yeah, you're
has
right.
a
It's like
soul.
We're pulling them out of the infinite.
Well,
Ocean.
hear
We're
this.
pulling drops out of the infinite. Ocean.
Recently, I was working at a tree farm, and there was this lady there who was talking to me, and she works with a shaman. And she said recently with this 2020 and how everything's shifting, she said that we switched dimensions. Like a big event happened, and we flipped dimensions, and everything's going crazy now. And she said that no more new souls are being put in place. Like, if you look at the global population, it's going down. So she's saying that we've reached our max number of souls, and everybody that's here now is just going to keep being recycled through until we get it and figure our shit out.
I'm with it. I feel like I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
I'm learning with you guys.
And like
I'm almost
people
there.
who are like
Shit, I got a lot to go.
closed-minded and like not open to new things and just mean to people, those are like younger souls that were just like on their first or second life or something.
So are you
They don't-
saying straight people are young souls and gay people are old souls?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I do want to say this. As of June 2020, we had 7.79 billion people in the world, in the globe. In 2022, 7.995. So it's like
He lost 0.2
wait,
billion.
no. There's more people in 2 years
There is?
Yeah.
Oh.
by like a decent amount too.
Oh, dang.
I mean, it doesn't look like a big number change, but we're talking billion.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
if
a
you
couple
take into
million.
the fact
It's
that
almost a couple million.
It's a couple
people.
million, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
every
something like that.
every like conscious life form has a soul, if you take that into account, like if you consider animals
So I was
conscious.
just saying, so if you're saying deer and
Yeah,
lions
like
and
you
shit have to
think
figure this shit
Sparky
out, too.
over here has a soul? I think Sparky has a soul.
I think Sparky's a weird soul.
He's
Yeah.
conscious and limited to his senses.
Yeah, so
Kinda,
I'm
you know?
thinking there's a lot of souls to go around, not just human souls, and they can be born into a human soul.
Okay.
And that's why our population could be expanding.
Okay.
But
We're way off subject here.
yeah,
What is the subject? It's like,
well, we were about to
Yeah.
start talking about
The flat Earth.
that's right.
yeah, the flat Earth.
Yeah, we completely blew that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's how much flat Earth means, people. Let's skip
Yeah.
the subject.
So you want to move on to the devil-run music industry?
Oh, okay.
So, the devil runs the music industry, if you didn't know.
I've always heard that the devil controls the air. Like, it's like a biblical saying.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, what is the air? It's usually, you're on the air. You're like, you know,
Yeah.
weird.
You see lots of rappers either die at 21 and join the 21 Club, or live old enough to change their entire view on everything. And Eminem's the perfect example. Back in the day, he used to say, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everyone. Fuck all your shit, I don't give a shit, I make music for me and me only.
Yeah, he had a
That's
vibe,
about
bro.
it.
Like, he was...
And now these days, he's like,
rebel.
A liberal.
people like
he's
these
like
rebels.
he's like a liberal,
Until he
like super
noticed.
hard leftist,
Sure.
liberal, super nice. Changed himself completely, turned right around. Like I'm not dissing on liberals or anything. I'm just saying he like became one and completely changed himself into the opposite of what he's always been, into literally what he used to rap about.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't think he did that because he was in the music industry for 20 years. I think it was because he made a deal and eventually he matured, became an adult, and realized that he sold his soul and he's got some fucking issues.
I think no one's selling their soul. Literally, there's no deal. It's a figure of speech. If you're selling yourself out, it usually comes with fame in general.
Yeah.
You're starting to sell who you really were. You're starting to make a personality instead of just letting it flow. You're
Yeah.
selling your soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you're really selling. There's no, hey devil, we're meeting up and selling your soul. It's total figure of speech.
I don't know. I've thought about it, and if it's true that when your soul leaves your body, you lose 7 pounds, then that proves that there's a concept of a soul. And if that's true,
But
then like Jared said, we're all here till we get our shit together, and then we can move on. But where do we move on to? So you make a deal with the devil, and it guarantees that he takes your soul to whatever domain he runs when you die.
which we don't know.
Mhm.
What comes after this?
And it might not even be the
Picture
biblical
Drake. Have
devil.
you heard
It could
Drake's
be.
new album? Just
Whose?
mention Drake's new album.
A little bit. I'm not too into
You
Drake.
actually know who Drake is, so you know his type of lyrics. If you listen to it now,
Right.
it's dumbed down and simplified. I believe he sold his soul, meaning like he's getting paid more by big companies that are playing him, but he's not allowed to talk about certain subjects. He's got to dumb it down. He can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't do certain things. He's got to sound a certain way, and it's his whole album is just different. It's
Record
not
companies.
not him rapping.
Record
it's
companies
being
don't
weird.
let them say certain
Yeah,
things because
so
it
that's-
outs certain
He
things.
sold his soul. He didn't sell his soul. He's still got a soul. He's the same person, but he sold his soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's
So
definitely your conscience can be a bad person. You genuinely make bad decisions. If you know someone drops a dollar bill or whatever, and you're like not taking, or you're taking it. And, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Not
Yeah.
giving it back.
Yeah, you're like, I don't think you're going to hell.
I don't
I
think
don't
you
believe in all
actually
that
meet
for
up
some
at a
reason, just 'cause
crossroads.
It's not evidential to me. I can't picture it.
I believe if we go somewhere after here, but I don't know where it is that we go. I've thought about it, and there's endless possibilities.
I think
places
Christianity's
we can go.
too easy. I think the universe is more complex than what
You're absolutely
Christianity
right.
I think
is.
It's a business.
I think
Christianity's a
Christianity,
business.
Yeah.
since
A controlling
technically,
business.
Yeah.
Christianity was like the first major religion.
No,
I think
I don't think it
like
was the
major
first. Okay,
religion,
okay.
not the first one. Don't get me wrong, but like the first major one. I think that Christianity was made to be the simplest, most controlling version that a human could come up with.
Yeah.
You want to know what though? I have read a little bit of the Bible. and I'm
I've
not-
read the whole Bible,
I'm not, like,
front to back.
Christian at all, but I believe that is such a really positive book to read because it's not like you're taking it literally as a story, but
Yeah.
it's like an analogy. You're
Yeah,
taking
if you
it
take
and you're
it
applying the
metaphorically.
lessons to your own life. It almost like, you get what I'm saying?
When
That's how it
when
helped
Christians
me.
start to take it literally is when it gets bad. But I
Yeah.
feel like if they take it metaphorically and live by those philosophies, it makes them a good person. And I feel
Roll
like
another one, fuck.
those philosophies go across all religions, but it's just like different said in each way, and Christianity might have a little bit different views because it's been improvised and
Right.
changed.
As you're on a Jesus rolling.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Like
that's
like
awesome.
if you take God and compare him to Buddha, they basically do the same shit.
You're-
They
Yeah.
just look different.
Definitely.
They have different categories. They're labeled differently. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you're right.
I think each religion is just somebody else's interpretation of the same exact being.
And all the major events through all the religions, they match up on all of them.
Low key.
Like great floods and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And have you ever heard of the hydrosphere?
When Moses
Where
split
there was a lot
the
of-
Red Sea,
There's a lot of water around our atmosphere
Hinduism
at one
has
point,
that.
and
Yeah.
everything, and it rained a lot. And a hydrosphere thinned out, and it made a lot of flooding happen. And it's
Right.
in every major biblical book there is, as the Great Flood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
right?
But
When Noah
in,
built the
in
ark.
science terms, though, it was the hydrosphere dropping. Like it was a natural process that happened with our planet.
Dang.
But it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we had to put an explanation on it. God, it was
Yeah.
good. You know.
Right.
It's true. Technically, the Bible says that God
We
gave
had to. It
humans
can't just be a thing.
free
We
will,
have to
so
label
why
it.
would he fuck with us like that?
Yeah. So, you wanna... Okay, I'll give you a
He's
second.
got some shit said.
I just want to make a point while we're standing here talking about God for anybody who's listening. I just want to make a point, okay? Because I always hear it, and people always say it, and it just really pisses me off, okay? Nobody's going to hell for smoking pot, okay? And let me give you proof on why. Because right in the Bible, alright, it's about halfway through the book, but right in there, it says that God put any and all seed-bearing plants on this earth for humans' consumption and use. Alright? That didn't specify what we had to use it for or whatnot. It just said for human consumption and use for the
It talks about
betterment
balance,
and
too.
providence of the human race.
All things in balance.
So, if God put all seed-bearing plants on this earth for humans, with the intent of us using them, then he put pot here for the intent of us using it, because when you grow a marijuana plant, it has seeds.
Why does it react to our brain? Because as humans evolved, the plant was right next to us.
It evolved
It with
to
it
with
evolved
us.
with
Yeah.
us. It
It
evolved
wouldn't be
with
that
us.
way
Literally.
without us.
Yeah.
The
we
only
have
the
same
only
receptors.
conceptualization of it being bad is the government telling you that because they haven't found a way to make money off a plant you can fucking grow.
And you want to know what? What are the long-term effects?
Not
There
not
are
many.
no long-term
The
effects.
long-term effects are usually.
I mean, maybe from
your own
smoking.
hand dealt to you. It's you being like distracting yourself from your major life decisions
Yeah.
or something. Like I get why pot can be bad, totally, but it's opened my mind in so many different ways, and my perspective.
I mean,
have
everything's
changed,
got its
and-
downsides.
And I balance it.
Driving, eating certain foods,
Even
going
just
doing
sitting
certain
and
Too much-
things.
standing.
Let me say this: too much water will make you sick.
Yeah.
Yes. So too much of
Too little water
anything,
will
too much of
make you sick.
anything is bad for you. But
What's a little grass gonna do?
I'll say, what's a little grass?
So let's.
To each his own, though. We're not saying
Yeah,
smoke.
don't
Oh,
get me
yeah,
wrong.
for sure.
To teach your own, but I'm just saying, don't be closed-minded to the idea that pot is bad. Nobody should smoke
If
it.
you want to
Yeah.
find something, find it out yourself. I'm not saying go try crack because
Yeah,
there's
no.
plenty of information that'll tell you what's happened when people have done that. You don't need to try it to find out. But some good things, you might have an idea on something, find it on yourself.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the Burning Owl? This big secret organization that gets together in the redwood forest.
I couldn't tell you much about it other than what I've seen,
Yeah.
which is just simple YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And that is that the most influential people in our population, like, I don't want to say cliche, but 1%ers.
I looked it up. I can elaborate a little bit for you.
Directly pull some information from it.
Absolutely.
It started the summer of 1967 at Owl's Nest Camp. Oh no, this is the picture. I'm an idiot.
The picture is actually there to help explain.
It includes artists, musicians, prominent business leaders, government officials, former U.S. presidents, senior media executives, people of all power, people who have influence in general. They go to this event.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's not too much of what they're doing at this event because it's so private.
Yeah.
People who,
Started
the only picture that has been taken there
96.
was someone who snuck in and took a picture out of their briefcase or something, and that's the picture, the famous burning owl one. And
Just
he
as
brought
a
it to the
just as a
public.
reference, the people that started it
I don't
were Preston Hotchkins, Ronald Reagan, who was a president, Harvey Hancock, Richard Nixon, who was also a president, Glenn T. Seaborg, Jack Sparks, Kevin Winters, and Edwin W. Pauley.
No, I don't think they're like hanging someone up on a cross and burning them.
yeah.
But I do think that this is an event where they're getting together and making the most influential decisions together, and they might be partying together a little. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Just
the most
about
elite
2,500 of the most elite people
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the world are all
Not
sitting in a
saying
room
they're
making decisions.
They're cutting babies up or doing some satanic stuff, but they're doing weird traditional stuff,
Yeah.
and we know about it. And yeah,
We just need someone from the inside to get in there.
but nothing would like even change. Like, what if they are just literally doing what I just said? They're just
Yeah.
doing traditional stuff that has been happening. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it started with some weird stuff. Maybe it.
Beyonce's putting on a concert. well, the presidents are making decisions about who gets
Actually,
what.
the burning owl was how they came up with the idea for the atomic bomb.
Is that right? Does it say that in there?
It does.
You hear that? Wow.
The groove is particularly famous for the Manhattan Project planning meeting
Yes, I did know
that took place there in September 1942, which subsequently led to the atomic bomb.
Damn.
See, it's a brain thinking chamber is what it is. It's
Yeah.
people getting together.
It even says who attended the meeting. Ernest Lawrence, J. Robert Oppenheimer, the S1 executive committee heads, such as the presidents of Harvard, Yale, and Princeton, along with representatives of Standard Oil and General Electric, as well as numerous military officials.
Damn.
There's even a tape recording of it,
Wow.
which is in the possession of the government.
What's our next topic? There ain't too much to talk about this. It's just a simple little club.
Yeah.
Get together.
They're the most elite people in the world.
Yeah.
Well, we can close it off with Planet X.
Alright. I think I introduced it to us.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, they, I'm not sure. I'm gonna throw it out though. Like NASA
Mm-hmm.
made like a scale of our universe, our galaxy, how our planets shift around our sun.
Mm-hmm.
How they do that won't be possible without this imaginary force of a planet going in its own direction. And they call it Planet X as just a name, like Planet X, Planet 1, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's this mass of a planet going around in a weird angle around our sun. But it has to be there for all of our planets to be in the perfect way it spins around the sun as we know.
Dang.
Like without this imaginary force
Yep.
that we've came to realize that's there, we'd all be shifted wrong. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? That's the conspiracy. It
Were
goes-
you-
So basically, that Planet X is there and they're hiding it from us, but it has to be
Not hiding
there
it.
for
It's
the
totally
rotation and
Yeah.
gravitational pull between the planets to be the way it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd have something different.
Something would throw off. Like
Something
we've
would be
made
thrown
the
off.
scale. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you were saying there's aliens living on this planet?
yeah.
Well, they would be
Not
aliens to us.
Yeah,
Alright,
for
so-
sure.
I've heard the term Anunnaki.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the hell, anything really about. But I'd assume maybe this planet came around and humans hopped on and they evolved in their own way, or maybe how.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Maybe we had a common ancestor that split between the two planets.
Exactly, and it evolved differently on this planet because it has different characteristics. And time works differently there because it moves around the sun differently.
Maybe we were from there and we were the comet that took out the dinosaurs. And we've evolved differently from them since then.
That's a long time ago, though, in humans.
But we have no idea how long they've been there.
What? How long have the people on the planet
Yeah.
X have been? You're right.
They totally could have been there long before we were here.
Could have came from there. The
You were
alien
saying
and the
that they,
monkey on Earth.
Yeah.
Come around and harvest us after we've
Not
evolved?
harvest us. I've heard this term, so I don't even believe it necessarily,
Mhm.
but I'll say
Yeah.
it. So Anunnaki on this planet X, when it's such a long rotational, few thousand years, when
Yeah.
it finally comes into where we can be near it, an Earth, they come aboard our planet, and we have resources here, and we would pretty much take all this time to gather the resources and flaunt it out and use it in our society. But when this planet X comes around, they come around, take our shit, our gold, use us as slaves, do whatever. They play with us like we're a chessboard. But I don't. That sounds cheesy. You think there'd be some massive event marked down somewhere in history
Yeah.
of some.
I think at some
But
point
it's a
our
conspiracy.
governments would have enough of that bullshit and we'd
Mhm.
start an
What if they're on
anti-government
it?
organization.
into it.
Yeah, what if they're onto it?
What if they are?
What if they use us?
What if they are? They're not.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. See.
What if they use us for that reason? They use us to make all those materials so that they just rob us and leave.
It's like slavery with
Extra
the
steps.
And we don't
steps.
even know it. Because we're just evolving.
You son of a bitch. That's a
Rick
good
and
episode.
Rick and Morty should be a freaking category under this list.
Yeah.
They know too much, bro.
Actually,
They know too much.
The
They
Simpsons
really do.
know too much, bro.
That too.
yeah,
are
dude, they be
big
predicting
guys.
the future and shit.
They make the future.
No,
I swear to
seriously.
God, the future happens in a way just because they already wrote it. Like,
Yo,
you know what? Let's scare the
whatever
people by making
entity
it
is God is one of the two writers of The Simpsons show.
I think we all are God. We're the universe experiencing itself.
Yo, that would be a good one.
And on that, I think we should close the episode.
This was amazing. This
Yeah.
is my first one I've been a part of.
Me too.
It's cool.
It was
open and
absolutely
talking.
awesome. I would
It's
be
crazy that
willing
people
to do it
might
again.
hear this and have their own opinions.
Definitely.
Hopefully, I can be a part of another one.
Yeah.
This is chill.
Well, either you want to plug your social medias or anything like that, or
No, but anybody listening who knows my voice knows B-Rad. It knows what's up.
got it.
That's all.
You, Grover?
I'm Grover, and if you find it, you find it. If you don't, you don't.
Got it. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. It was great having y'all on the podcast.
Shablam. Boom!
See you next episode of Highly Intelligent.